Welcome to Nightveil, where every shadow hides a secret, every whisper tells a story, and every nightmare feels real. The rain hammered against the windshield as Ethan drove toward Blackwood village. Lightning flashed across the dark sky. Beside him sat Daniel. "You seriously believe there's a story here?" Daniel asked. Ethan nodded. 3 families disappeared from the same house. No bodies, no clues, just gone. Daniel laughed nervously. "And you thought it would be fun to investigate?" Before Ethan could answer, they passed an old wooden sign. "Welcome to Blackwood." The sign was covered in strange scratch marks. The village looked abandoned. Windows were boarded up. Doors remained shut. No children played outside. It felt dead. They stopped at a small diner. Inside, an old woman stared at them. Mrs. Holloway. When Ethan mentioned the abandoned house, her face turned pale. "You must leave." Ethan frowned. "Why?" The woman leaned closer. "Because the house listens." A silence filled the room. Then she whispered, "If you hear someone calling your name at night." Her eyes widened. "Don't answer." The house stood alone on a hill, tall and black. Its windows looked like empty eyes. The front gate creaked open by itself. Daniel stopped walking. "You saw that?" Ethan nodded. The air felt colder. As they stepped onto the porch, they noticed something strange. There were fresh footprints. Someone had been here recently. The front door opened with a long groan. Dust covered everything. Old furniture sat untouched. Family photographs hung on walls. But every face had been scratched out. Every single one. Mia, who had arrived later to help Ethan, stared at the pictures. "Who would do this?" Nobody answered. Then they heard it. A whisper, very faint, coming from upstairs. The whisper sounded like a woman, crying, calling for help. The 3 climbed the staircase. Each step groaned beneath their feet. At the end of the hallway stood a closed door. The whisper came from inside. Ethan slowly turned the handle. The room was empty, except for an old rocking chair. Rocking, back and forth, back and forth. Nobody sat in it. The whisper stopped. Silence. Then, Mia froze. "Did you hear that?" A voice whispered behind them. Very close, almost touching their ears. "Ethan." They spun around. Nobody was there. Hours later, they discovered a hidden door beneath a carpet. It led to a basement. The smell was unbearable. Rotting wood, mold, something worse. They descended. The flashlight beams revealed hundreds of words scratched into the walls. "Help me. He's watching. Don't look at HIMs." Mia found an old diary. The pages belonged to a girl named Emma Reed. 20 years earlier. The final entry read, "He lives in the walls, he whispers at night. If you hear him, don't answer." Suddenly, a loud bang echoed above them. The basement door slammed shut. Darkness swallowed everything. After escaping the basement, Ethan researched Emma. 20 years ago, she vanished. Her entire family disappeared the same night. Nobody solved the mystery. Mrs. Holloway revealed another secret. There was a man. A stranger. He arrived before the disappearances began. "What happened to him?" Ethan asked. The old woman looked terrified. "No one knows." She pointed toward the house. "But people still see him standing in the windows." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Around 3:00 a.m., he looked outside. Someone stood near the tree line, watching the house. Tall, thin, motionless. A flash of lightning illuminated the figure. His face was completely dark. No eyes, no mouth, only blackness. The figure slowly raised one arm. and pointed toward the house, then disappeared. The next day, they searched again. Behind a bookshelf, they discovered another hidden room. Inside were dozens of photographs. Missing people. Every victim. Every disappearance. The newest photograph made Ethan's blood run cold. It showed him standing outside the house yesterday. Someone had been watching, long before they arrived. Then Mia noticed something written beneath the photo. You answered. Nobody understood. Until they remembered the whisper. Someone had called Ethan's name. And he had replied, "Who's there?" The room suddenly became freezing cold. The walls began whispering. Hundreds of voices. Thousands. Children. Women. Men. All speaking at once. The voices formed a single sentence. He is coming. The lights exploded. Darkness swallowed the room. Then a shape appeared in the corner. Tall, thin, impossible. Its head touched the ceiling. It had no face. Only darkness. The Whispering Man. Emma's final diary entry revealed the horrifying truth. The Whispering Man wasn't a ghost. He was something older. A creature that fed on attention. It couldn't enter a person's mind unless they responded. If you answered the whispers, it marked you, then slowly consumed you. Victims vanished. Not because they were killed. Because they were taken. Somewhere else. The house became alive. Doors slammed. Walls shook. Whispers filled every room. Daniel suddenly stopped moving. His eyes became empty. The Whispering Man stood behind him. Daniel smiled. A horrible, unnatural smile. Then he whispered, "He wants you." The creature moved closer. Each step distorted reality. The walls stretched. The ceiling twisted. The house transformed into a nightmare. Ethan discovered a hidden ritual in Emma's diary. A way to trap the creature. But it required entering the place where the victims were taken. The other side. A dark dimension hidden inside the house. The moment Ethan performed the ritual, the floor disappeared. He fell and landed in endless darkness. There he saw them. Hundreds of missing people. Frozen in shadows. Including Emma Reed's. Still alive. After 20 years. Emma revealed the final secret. The Whispering Man grows stronger every time someone answers. Ethan realized what he had to do. He refused to listen. No matter what the creature said. The whispers became screams. The screams became voices of loved ones. His parents, his sister, Daniel, all begging for help. But Ethan stayed silent. The creature weakened. Cracks appeared across its body. The darkness shattered. A deafening scream echoed through reality. Then everything vanished. Weeks later, the house burned to the ground. Authorities never found evidence of what happened. Emma and the missing victims returned home. But one mystery remained. On Ethan's recorder was a final audio clip. Recorded after the house was destroyed. A whisper. Soft. Close. Impossible. It said, "Poison." And then another voice answered. "Oh yes."